Sean Mosley, everybody. This is kind of tall. Oh, cool. I started asking people, what's the farthest you've ever traveled to meet someone romantically? The answer to that question for me is 790 miles. That is the distance from Saginaw, Michigan to Memphis. And in my early 20s, I made that trip so often that I knew the route by heart. I didn't need like GPS or anything like that. I was good, I could just make it. And I would come here because I was a minister in the church, but the bonus was that there was a young lady here as well. One time I came to Memphis and I met her and we sat down, we went somewhere, and I just remember being in her car on the passenger side. I wasn't doing so well at that time. I was in my early 20s, had a terrible job, was living with my mom, and I just felt like I needed to tell her that, I think you deserve somebody that's better than me. I think the man that you deserve is miles away from what I am right now. And it hurt me to say it, and it hurt her to hear it, but it was the truth. It was my truth. And she cried a little bit, and then she gave me that look that I believe all women, when they come into adulthood, they learn. That look that says, "You're dead to me." And I was like, yeah, that's probably about right. And it was a long 790 miles for me to drive back to Michigan and try to move on myself and try to, just work my crappy job and live at home with my mom and hope that times got better. And I tried to date other people that were, I guess, closer to my station, but it never really worked out. And just one day out of the blue, I ended up calling her again. And I had to call her at night because this is early 2000s. I don't know if you remember nights and weekends, overtime minutes. I didn't even have a cell phone. I had to borrow one from my stepdad. It was like, oh, anytime, minutes time, okay. Yeah. And I called her one night and we talked for a while. She still was giving me guff about, I'm kind of dead to her or whatever. But one day became 2 days, and 2 days became like every night. And I remember one night, my stepdad, he had fell asleep, and his cell phone was in his room, and I needed to go get it. But he didn't have any clothes on, and he was knocked out. I was like, no, I can't do it. Not gonna be able to make this call this night. But that's love. I went and did it. And that day I knew, like, I don't care, what my station is. I'm gonna try to be better. And I made this trip down to Memphis again. And I found myself sitting in her car once again, and she's sitting in the driver's side. And I pull out the cloudiest diamond ring you could ever see, that it took me months to get out of layaway from Sears. And I asked her to marry me. And she cried again. And she said, yes.
Oh.
Thank you. 15 years later, I still don't believe that I'm the man that she deserves. But I believe that she's helping me to get there. And every day I try to close that gap between the man I am and the man that she deserves.